There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino is the name, and we back again with another trucking video. So, it's crazy. We were just talking about what, her plans were, starting businesses and stuff like that. And she was looking into going into the trucking business. And we had a conversation about, dispatching and owning your trucking authority. And so, let's clear up some things about trucking. So, owning a trucking authority or having a truck is not necessarily is not dispatching. Like, you don't have to have a truck in order to dispatch. And being a broker is also not dispatching, and being a broker is also doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a truck or a trucking company. Now, you can, for all of those, you can have a trucking company and dispatch your own truck, or be a dispatcher for your truck and other trucks. And you can also be a broker and still dispatch for other trucks.
Okay.
And still have a trucking company. You can do all three, but they're not the same thing.
Gotcha.
So, do you know what, say, being a broker is?
No.
Okay. All right. What do you know exactly?
I do know a little bit about the loads, and then traveling in and out of state, so you want to have a load on the way back.
Okay, deadhead. You don't want to be deadhead.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mileage, I do know you get paid for that extra. But other than getting your CDL and actually getting on the road, I don't know too much.
Okay. So it's been a minute since I even had these kind of conversations like this. So this is good. This is actually good. We were having a conversation. I said, yo, this is a video. Like, we got to talk. So, okay. Do you know the difference between owning a trucking authority and leasing on?
No.
Okay, this is really good. Okay, because it might be somebody out there watching who knows nothing either, right? So basically, you can lease own. Oh, let's start at the trucking authority.
Okay.
You can get your own trucking authority, which means that you're going to carry commercial insurance. You're going to basically be able to pick up and deliver whatever your FMCSA is saying that you can pick up and deliver. And FMCSA is the organization that gives you your authority to get your MC and DOT number.
Gotcha.
Two things. Your DOT number is needed to do anything commercially with trucking, right? But your MC number allows you to cross state lines. You don't need an MC number if you're going to stay inside your state.
Okay.
You just need a DOT number. That's just one thing. I know right now, especially where she is, means nothing to her. Okay, I just wanted to say that, before we start talking about this. All right, so you get your trucking authority, you get your truck. You can start dispatch. You can call the dispatcher, say, "Hey, I'm looking for loads. I just got my trucking authority." Some of them probably gonna call you. Okay, they get your information some kind of way. I don't know, but they just start calling like crazy. Hey. So they'll dispatch you a load, and they want a percent, right? Let's say their percentage is 10%. I'm sure it shouldn't be any more than 10%.
Okay.
But they get 10% of the load, right? So they find you $1,000 load. They get 10% of that load, so that's $100, right?
Okay.
And so you just got a load though, so now you're running, okay? Now, it doesn't matter how big or how small the load is, they get like 10%.
Gotcha.
So if it's a $50 load, they getting $5, So, all right, so now if you don't want to get your authority because the insurance cost is high, you got to file your FMCSA paperwork and all that kind of stuff. You got to get IFTA stickers, IRP tags, whatever that is. The startup costs a lot of people don't want to do, right? So what they end up doing, they go get a truck and they say, "Hey, I got me a truck." And you say, "Oh, you're going to pay for this other side to get your own authority?" And he's like, I don't have a couple more $1,000 to go put into my own authority. So what else can I do? And so a company is like, "Hey, well, I have a trucking authority. Like for instance, let's say I had a trucking authority, and you got a truck. You just got your truck. You got your driver, or maybe you want to drive. Yo, I got me a truck. Okay, well now you can lease on with my company, which means that I sign your truck up under my authority,
Mm-hmm.
and now when you get paid, I get a percentage of whatever that is, or we have whatever our agreement is. We have that set up,
Gotcha.
But your truck is essentially just driving under my authority. So it's
Okay.
listing on my commercial insurance, my
Gotcha.
whatever. So that's leasing on. And a lot of people do that. And a lot of people think that's the way that you're supposed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no necessarily way you're supposed to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of is what it is, whatever your situation is. I've never leased on, I was my own authority. So and of course, leasing on is much less headache because you don't have to worry about like the insurance stuff. You don't have to worry about the IRP if the stickers. The company will provide it for you under their
Gotcha.
authority. So it's a lot less work
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do it that way. And then of course you have the company driver, which you're just a driver. You don't own a truck or anything. You just come in and drive somebody else's truck, and it is what it is. So that's as far as the trucking business side, that's how far that goes. Now, the
Okay.
dispatching side, let's say if you don't have a truck, because you can have a truck and do all of this with any one of these, right? But the dispatching section is just dispatching on its own. You can dispatch your own trucks, or you can dispatch other people's trucks. Dispatching is a truck has their own authority, or has their authority, whether or not they leased on or has an authority, but they call you and they're trying to get that truck some loads. Your job is to go out, look at load boards or whatever
Mm-hmm.
kind of personal connections you've built up over time, and find that truck a load,
Gotcha.
right? So we were just talking, and so you can get on a load board. Right now, I'm looking at 123 load board. I think. Let me see. Let me see what's the name of this thing. Oh shoot, that's it right there. 123. That's what it looks like. So this is 123 load board. Let me see. It just went away. Yeah, 123 load board. They get some free press right now. All right, so 123 load board, and it's plenty of load. It's like a ton of load boards,
Gotcha.
all kind of load boards everywhere. So you can. This is an app, and this is just 123 load board. But you have like central dispatch if you're trying to like carry cars. It's just different kind of load boards for different kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Lowe's probably puts all of their loads on a certain board or whatever like that. And so there's all these different types of loads and different kind of load boards, but the dispatcher is going to go find you a load. And a lot of this stuff you have to pay. After so many loads, you have to pay to be part of like a subscription service to different load boards. So one load board might be $10 a month, it might be $15 a month, it might be $25 a month, but you might need like 4 or 5 different load boards in order to find loads depending on where you are. You might be in North Dakota somewhere and need a load out of there, and there's nothing good on 123 load board, so you had to get on some other kind of load board. So
makes sense.
Yeah, so they go on. They have your information, and they put your information in, and they'll say, okay, you have a 40-foot flatbed, or you have a 53-foot dry van. And also, do you know the difference between the trucks?
Somewhat.
Okay, you know what a dry van is. Okay.
I know what a flatbed is, but I don't know.
Okay. You know what a step deck is?
No.
Okay. Yeah. See, there's a lot of information about trucking. The flatbed is flatbed, but then you have a step deck, which there's like a flatbed, but it has like a step on it.
Okay.
You probably see them all the time on like semi trucks, but you probably think about them as flatbeds, but it's a step deck, has a little step in. Anyway, so in a dry van is the big trailer on the back.
Okay.
That the typical one you see. It's actually called a dry van.
Okay.
And then because you have a reefer, which is refrigerated, and then you have like the tankers. Yeah, okay, right. So it's a lot. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, you have the dispatcher, and the dispatcher goes out, finds you a load. They get 10% of whatever the load is. So if it's a $5,000 load, they get 500, right?
Gotcha.
And they'll just get the load dispatched to you, and it's kind of like you paying them for their work at getting you a $5,000 load.
Okay.
And then you have the broker. Okay, so the broker is someone who, let's say you're looking to ship something, right?
Mm-hmm.
The person looking to ship something doesn't go to the dispatcher typically. Sometimes they might. They may say, "Hey, yo, I know you dispatch some stuff. Hey, you know anybody who could take this for me or whatever." But the broker is the person who actually gets the load and posts them to the load board.
Gotcha.
Right. So they get, I don't know what their percentage is, right? But let's say a broker is getting $600 and to move a car, or $500 to move a car, and they post on Central Dispatch $225 to move this car. They keep that difference.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of that. And so then the dispatcher is just gonna get his little percentage from you having the truck and doing a job.
Okay.
So, and then you have factoring.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. This is a lot. Yo, if you guys ever want to start a trucking company, please reach out to me. I have a book called Big Shot, Hot Shot, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a lot of information in there. 5-star reviews on it. But this is just a little bit, because we haven't talked about consortiums and all that kind of stuff like that, where you have to like be a part of a group to make sure the drivers are getting tested, like drug tested and stuff like that. Like,
Gotcha.
it's a lot though, you know. So yeah, yeah. So, any more questions? Do you have any questions? I really just talked like just about this whole time. It's a lot.
No, that actually gave me a pretty general information, especially way more than what I knew to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
I've forgotten more than what
get
some
my
people know.
CDL. I could put the trucks on the road and own my own truck and send them out too. I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. And so it's crazy because, like, imagine if you can give your business a 10% boost by just dispatching your own loads, but it's still its own thing. Like, it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's not for everybody. And then imagine you can just start a dispatching service, no truck. You just need a computer and a headset or a cell phone or whatever, and you're dispatching loads for somebody, and it is so easy. It's literally like this. I get on here, and I go to a search. I type in the location. If you get on 123 load board, you can see this, but you type in the location that you want to pick up, and you put a radius in, like if it's a 100-mile radius, a 50-mile radius, whatever your radius is. Let me see what's the lowest radius. 10 miles. Within 10 miles. If there's there's nothing within 10 miles, I open up my radius a little more, because you don't want to do a lot of deadhead, right? But wherever your truck is, you put it in the radius, and then you pick up the drop. You can leave drop off anywhere. I would leave drop off anywhere unless I know I'm trying to send my driver to Florida, which is stuff I used to do. Like, my driver used to like going to Miami. I'm sending to Miami, you know.
Right.
I'm gonna look for a load going to Miami, and that's the power of like the ownership side versus if I'm just getting loads from a dispatcher and they're sending me anywhere they want me to go, or I'm leased on to another company and they're dispatching me loads. I don't know where my guy's going. We don't have that kind of choice, and so, but when you own, like, it's a lot of power in that. All right, so. But you can leave that blank and just say anywhere, right? And then you can type in the information for your truck. It'll ask you like flatbed, hot shot, less than a truckload, different kind of things. You can set the amount of weight that you can carry and all of that, which is all very important. But let me go back, because I just saw something. Okay, because it still has 40 foot. So I'm going to go to any length. All right, so here it's displaying $1,600 for a trip. It's $3.60 a mile. I don't know if it's good now, but it used to be really good. You get $3.60 a mile. It's going from Atlanta to Orlando, Florida. Okay, so that's $1,600, $3.60, and there's a bunch of other loads that's right behind it. They require you see that right there says V for van, so it's a dry van.
Okay.
TL for truckload, so that means it's at a certain weight. and then it says so the weight of it. This one is going to Tennessee. It's paying $700 to go to Tennessee. It's 269 miles. It's not very far, you
Right.
know. So, but this one right here, going from Atlanta to going from Atlanta to Orlando, 432 miles. Now let's say you drive 60 miles an hour, 10 hours at 600 miles. So this trip is clearly less than a day, right?
Right.
Because you can drive, I think, 12 hours before you got a break or something, 12 or 14, I can't remember. I ain't drive. I'm not a driver, can't remember. But so you can get there in a day. So that's $1,600 you can make in a day, you know? And you click on the load, right? Because we can see it. So we click on it and we scroll. Where is it? It says place bid. What? Contact dispatch. There's the number, right? And you just call them and you say, hey, is this load still available? They'll say, well, if it's showing on here, it's still available.
Gotcha.
They'll say, yes, the load's still available. Unless you just took too long to like do your search, and then maybe they had just dispatched it and it's still showing on your screen. But you'll call them and say, hey, is this load still available? They'll say, yes, the load's still available, or no. But let's say, typically they're going to say, yes, it's still available.
Right.
They're going to say, okay, what's your MC number or DOT number? You'll tell them your MC or DOT number. They'll find you in the system. They'll see what kind of insurance you have. They'll see what kind of, equipment you're running or whatever. And then they'll say, okay, well, we don't have a carrier packet with you, which, you know what a carrier packet is? Yep, of course not. So a carrier packet is when you're set up in the system to be paid by them and stuff like that. They'll have a copy of your insurance stuff. They'll have your W-9, all that kind of stuff. So you got to do a carrier packet. And so it's real simple to do, but you got to send them. They'll send you documents to fill out. You send it right back. A couple pages, 2, 3, 4 pages, something like that. So you'll send them that. You'll call your insurance and tell your insurance to make them I can't remember, not beneficiary, but something like that. I don't know what it's called. But they'll do something with the insurance thing, and so then they'll dispatch the load to you.
Okay.
And you'll get the orders in the email, where to go pick the load up from, and all the little the specifics of it. So you'll go get the load, take it where you need to take it, drop it off in Orlando, get $1,600, and if you didn't have a dispatcher, then you don't have to pay them $160. But if you had a dispatcher, you got to pay them probably like $160 or so. And there you go. We'll talk about factoring a whole nother time. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, right now you're watching Casino is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we out. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap. You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way.
I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. No, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.